Fuck, it's hot. Hey team, welcome back. Hope you're having an amazing day. Sending all the positive vibes out there to you guys with all the craziness that's going on this year. Kind of imploded on itself, but hopefully we'll all rise above it and we'll come out better off in the end. And so today I kind of wanted to make a video series where all of you guys can learn something. So a bit about me. I am a coach and a PT. I have been for the last, well, I started when I was 20, qualified when I was 20. Damn, I'm 29 now. Almost 10 years. Almost 10 years in the fitness industry. I currently coach at a gym called 808 Hustle Training where we do CrossFit, mobility, Olympic lifting, a whole wide range of other stuff that we kind of train down there and get to teach our awesome members. I'm pretty open-minded when it comes to fitness methodologies and trainings and things like that. I do CrossFit, and but I'm not like a be-all, end-all kind of guy. CrossFit is the main way you should go. I mean, as long as you're moving, as long as you're doing some fitness, then that's awesome. But the reason I'm telling you guys this is just so you guys know that I'm not just some nobody. I didn't just watch a few YouTube videos and copy what they're doing, or if I don't have any experience or anything like that. I've got about 10 years experience, and with that all out of the way, let's get stuck into the video. Oh man. This is hard, this video stuff. Hopefully I'll get used to it. So during my time in commercial gyms, and even new members that join now down at our gym, what I find is that a lot of people don't know how to move properly, and it's not necessarily their fault, right? They could have seen somebody on Instagram. Maybe they learnt off a new PT. Or maybe they didn't even learn at all and they're just kind of trying to figure it out on their own. However, I do find that it is really common, and especially in commercial gyms or global gyms, anything like that, you'll always find that person who's lifting way too much on the bar or doesn't know how to move properly. And so I think that's the core base of this video. I actually want to make a series with this video. Well, essentially, I want to teach you guys how to kettlebell swing, deadlift, squat, all that jazz, but I'm going to do it a little bit differently. So this is part one of a 4-part series that I'm going to do. I'm going to teach you guys movement patterns. So instead of teaching you each individual movement, I'm going to teach you guys these movement patterns where you can actually apply these movement patterns to 99% of movements out there and do it safely. So you'll come to realize that something like a kettlebell swing is very similar to a deadlift, or even a bent over row, a barbell bent over row. If you know how to squat, if you know how to do a squatting pattern, then learning how to back squat, front squat, overhead squat, there's like obviously little changes, but the core foundations of it is right there. So I want to teach you guys the foundations of it. Again, this is part one. Now with all that out of the way, wait, right, oh, no, it has to go this way, boom. So with all of that out of the way, I'm going to teach you guys part one of this video, which is the core of everything. You need to know how to do this first before you learn the other 3 components, and that is a neutral spine. So what is a neutral spine? A neutral spine is a braced and safe position for you to take heavy loads. In gymnastics, they call this a stacked position, where your shoulder blades are pulled back and down, your pelvis is tucked under your spine, and your core is switched on. So it keeps your spine in what's called a neutral position. Pretty much, this is my pelvis, this is my spine, and what we're doing is we're trying to keep it perpendicular the entire time throughout whatever movement that we're doing. Any kind of squat, deadlift, press, and all the varieties that kind of come off of it, they all require you to have a neutral spine. So you need to know this first before you carry on and do the other movement patterns. Now, in saying all of this, your spine can bend, right? It has vertebrae and it does have a natural curve. So it is allowed to bend and twist. I mean, that's what it was designed to do. If we were born to permanently have a neutral spine, then we'd be upright like this. We wouldn't be able to take shock from jumps and anything like that. So obviously, this neutral spine position does not apply with certain movements such as back extensions, Jefferson curls, things like that, because they want you want your back. Those movements are all done in a safe manner and they are effective. However, you cannot expect to do a 180 kilo squat, deadlift, whatever, and be okay if you bend your back or anything like that. That's just not the case. It's like going across a bridge with a crack in it, right? If the crack, you can walk across one at a time, it's probably going to be fine, but if all of you run across the bridge at the same time, it's probably going to snap. So with all that being said, how do you do a neutral spine position? I'm going to take you guys into the gym so I can show you guys. See you there. Here we are, team, in the gym. That was a cool little transition. But anyway, I'm going to show you guys how to do your neutral spine position. Perfect, it just started raining. Right, I think the rain's going down. Let me just get out of this jersey. Right team, so we want to make sure that we have a good neutral spine position. There's three main things you want to be aware of. First thing is your pelvis. So what tends to happen is that people who work in office jobs tend to have very tight hip flexors to sitting. Most people's day jobs now in the modern day are actually office jobs. And what ends up happening is that they have what's called an anterior tilt to their pelvis, or it's also called a duck butt. So the first thing to start your neutral spine is to squeeze your glutes. Squeezing your glutes. You can see there from here, if I squeeze my glutes, all right, it tucks my pelvis under my spine. Remember before I said pelvis needs to be, your spine needs to be perpendicular to your pelvis, okay? This is duck butt, okay? We want to try and get that pelvis directly under it. That way there's no pressure going over our lumbar spine. Number two, we're working up the chain of our torso. So the next part is our abdominals. We need these switched on. Our sternum cannot be pointing up, okay? We also want to switch this on. So it pulls down our sternum and puts us in line with our spine. Number three, and this is our final one, is our shoulders. So now, pelvis, gone from here, is squeezing the glutes, tucking the pelvis under, squeezing our abdominals. Now most people have what's called kyphotic posture, which means the shoulders are internally rotated. We need to pull them back and down. Your shoulder blade should be slightly squeezed. We are not doing this, pulling it tightly, all right? All we are doing is squeezing our glutes, switching our core on, and pulling the shoulder blades back and down slightly. This is our neutral spine position. This is the position we need to be in when we hinge, when we squat, when we press. This is going to keep our torso solid, it's going to keep it stable, and it's going to keep your spine safe. Alright team, that's neutral spine. Easy as that. I will see you back home. Right team, we are back. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that episode, and I hope you got a lot of value out of that. Remember, this is part one of a 4-part series, and if you did find this valuable, please give us a subscribe, give us a like. Come check me out over on Instagram @KenyanHippie, or over on Facebook, which is just Built Train. The next 3 episodes are going to be covering squatting, pressing, and hinging. And just keep practicing this neutral spine position, guys. You can apply them to pretty much every movement in the gym. So get to practicing, ingrain these movements, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers, team.